My name is Andrew Olney, and this is a teaser / demo for my class, Introduction to Applied Computational Linguistics. So this class is a little bit different. It's designed for people who don't have a background in programming. And you might be thinking to yourself, wow, I would really like to learn computational linguistics or NLP, but I'm not sure I can get over the whole programming thing. So the main purpose of this video is to encourage you and to show you how we do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a sentence, NLP is not that hard, and we're going to tag it and get out this. Okay, and we're going to do that without actually writing code per se. So what you're looking at right now is called a Jupyter Notebook. This is a professional software environment. It is open source. It is free. You can use it forever. And so after this course, you can use it to do all your research and all your work. It is professional grade. Now, if I wanted to, I could start writing Python code right here in this little box, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to use what we're going to use for the class, which is this blocks extension. So you may have seen this approach used. It's used a lot with kids. Don't let that turn you off. It's a very, very popular approach. And what it does is it simplifies the whole programming thing. So I've modified this more or less for this class. So what you do is you come over here and you start grabbing blocks. So this is a block. This is the block we use to import a library. So in software, very frequently we don't write the code ourselves. Other people have written code in libraries, and then we just use the code that someone else wrote, which sounds great, right? So we're going to use a library called NLTK. So I'm just going to tell this guy to import NLTK so we can start using NLTK. You can see it even gave me a little warning because I did something stupid. So there we go. Let's import it. So what actually happened here is this block here, I hit the blocks to code button down here, and then that wrote Python code right here. So, you know, as you go through the course, if you want to start writing Python code or pick it up, you can do it. You can just start writing Python code over here. But until you get to that point, you can just keep using the blocks to get you to where you need to be. Alright, so we just imported NLTK, so that's cool. Now let's try to do something with it. Well, the first thing we need to do here is we've got NLP is not that hard, right? So we've got that sentence there. Probably need to give that to the computer, so let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to get a text block, which conveniently has quotes around it to make it easy to identify. And I'm just going to paste NLP is not that hard into that text block. Now, to get anywhere with any kind of programming, even with blocks, you got to have variables where you store things. So we're going to create a variable here, and we're just going to call it sentence. And that's cool. So we created that variable. And then we've got this variable block here, and we're just going to snap those two blocks together. Right? So that's cool. We can go over here, and we're going to do blocks to code, and now we've got NLP is not that hard. Alright, that's pretty neat. Let's try to do something with NLTK. So NLTK now lives over here. It's just a little variable, as you might have seen before. Now this thing that you're looking at right here, this kind of blue block, this is called an IntelliBlock, and basically it's letting us use this library that we brought in. So this is completely unlike what you might have seen with children's software that uses blocks. They don't have this. So what we're going to do is we're going to tokenize that sentence. We're going to turn it into a list of words. So let's come back here and grab this sentence and slam it in there. Hit blocks to code. Boom! Now we got a list of tokens, and we can do stuff with that. Before we go any further though, let's store that in its nice little variable. Let's call it tokens, and let's put that in there. Alright, so now we've got that. Now you can see this is pretty easy. We just used NLTK and we told it to tokenize that string, that sentence, into a list of words, and it did, right? So, you know, we're only writing really like glue code here in between these library calls. So it's pretty lightweight compared to what you might do in a regular programming class. Alright, so now we've got tokens, and now we want to actually get our tags. So once again, we just go over here and we grab NLTK, and this time we tell it that we want it to tag stuff. Now you'll notice here there's this just big list of stuff that's in this IntelliBlock, and I can mouse over one of these things and it'll give me some documentation and explain what it is. But this makes it easier to do your programming, because all you really need to do, this is a huge list, but normally they're smaller, just remember like what the name of the thing is that you're looking for, and click on it, right? So you don't have to type the code and remember all that stuff. Alright, so we're going to use NLTK to do part of speech tagging, and now we just need to tell it what to use. So let's grab tokens over here, slam it in there, blocks the code, and now we have our tokens, which is what we were looking for. So that's it. Like I said, if you want to learn Python, you can slowly learn it over the course of the class. The class does not force you to do that. All you need to do is use these kinds of blocks to call libraries and do the work that you want to do. So the focus is really much more on getting things done rather than teaching you to learn Python. And if you learn Python, it's just kind of a side effect of basically working in this environment and seeing the Python that gets generated. Alright, hope to see you soon in class.